It is my joy today to come to you this 21st day of December 2022 to continue to talk about our honorable, respected history, the Amba history, what you need to hear and what you need to know. So we are on our Amba history, and our phone lines are very much open. And as you hear and you are getting ready, would like you to understand that our Amba history is a history that you must know in order that you can appreciate what we are doing and what is going on. I don't know if your eyes are very sharp and visible like my eyes, not like some people who are getting up from sleep now. Yeah. This is exactly 5 minutes after the hour of 5 p.m. in Ambazonia, and this is our 50 feet nation's flag. If you don't have yours yet, please don't hesitate. Call the Amba History Hotline, and one of the flags and some of the articles of the 50-feet nation of Ambas of Africa, the 50-feet nation of Africa will be flown to you. All right, because we must let the world know that we are the 50-feet nation of Africa. And of course, I talked to a certain historian, and he told me that we are 196 nation of Africa. All right, with that said, with our publicity materials of the 50-feet nation of Africa, as you can also perceive on my head, we are going and we are gone. All right, there is this brother who tells me that, hey, historian, I want to give a testimony. All right, Reverend brother, can you come in with your testimony so that the people of Ambazonia can appreciate what is going on? This year, we have, can you see? You can see, this is Ambazonian calendar. One of the items that you must put on your table as an Ambazonia to identify yourself with Ambazonia and what Ambazonia is all about. Many and more of these will be sent to you as requested. Meanwhile, brother, come in with your testimony.
Tradition took me, the world swallowed me. I have a story to tell the world. I have a story to tell the world. This is my story, please listen carefully. One day I met a lady. She told me that Jesus died for me. He shed his blood and he loves me. He's calling me, his light is shining. We'll shine in my darkness. We'll shine in my darkness. I answered the lady, I said, since I was born, I heard that same story. Have you seen him? Have you touched him? Have you met him? And where is he? After many words of argument all day, I saw my sin, I was ashamed. I surrender to the Savior. I surrender to the Redeemer. What about you? He's calling you. What about you? Jesus is calling you. Everybody sing.
Thank you very much, Ambazonians, and welcome. Thank you very much, Reverend, for that testimony. That testimony is also to the people of Ambazonia that if you are having any problem, there is somebody that you can go to and the problem will be solved. This young man went to this person and his problem was solved. So Ambazonia does not make the difference. You can go to him and your problem is solved. Yeah, I want to just pick up a few things that the barrister said yesterday, which were very, very powerful. I want Ambazonians to know so that I can be envious of the country you are going. Now, most of the youth of today, especially those who were born around the 80s, who are about 30 years today, some of them 40 years, you don't understand the piece of land that God has given to you. And if we don't continue telling you this history, you might be lost. And you may think that we are the same with the Republic of Cameroon. I want to tell you that no, a big no. Now, just the disorganization that is going on in that land, when I sit back today, I wonder what happened in those days where there were no telephones. Anyway, there were mails that used to take a number of time, a long time, before they actually get to the destination. And when you are looking for somebody, you need to go at least 2 weeks information, give the information 2 weeks before you start moving over to get the person that you want to get to. It was very hectic. Now, but before that time, in the 50s and the early 60s, everything in Ambazonia, like you have it in any other developing country. You walk into a place like Boya, you have streets, and their streets are numbered. Or you have quarters, and the quarters are numbered. So that when you get into a particular place, you don't need to go knocking at any door and asking for one coconut that is near a banana in order to identify the house you are going. No, it was not so. You just say Motombolombo, Street 2, Tico, and you walk into house number 112, which is your uncle's house. That is what was obtainable in Ambazonia at that time. You get down to Bamenda, you go to Finance Street or Treasury Street, or you go to Sonak Street, or you go to Old Town, and they all had street numbers and street names, and people were easily found. But when La Republique came in and invaded our land, they did not want to learn anything good from us. They brought in their jungle lifestyle. I was so motivated yesterday when Barrister Tim said, right up to part of 1980, a fragment of our culture and our how do I call it? Organigram planned. Our plan was still working until La Republique finally invaded the whole place, auctioned some of the cows that we had where they were training prisoners in other livestock and other things in order. Oh my God. When I heard that story today, I was so disturbed. And my comfort yesterday was that he said, definitely we can go back to where we were and we can have what we are supposed to have. Yes, he said we can build it again. We can reconstruct again. We can get those things again as they are supposed to be. That was my comfort when this servant of Amazonia spoke yesterday the way he spoke, you know. So Amazonians, I'm here to reiterate and let you know that we have a land that is flowing with milk and honey. But remember that before you enter into a land that is flowing with milk and honey, definitely you have to fight with the bees. And of course, you have to fight with cows in order to milk the cow and get the milk. And so that is what we are presently doing because our statehood must be restored. Yeah, the interim government has only one plan, and the plan is the restoration of our interim government. That is the one and single plan that we have. And anybody who claims or wants to be and wants to go to Amazonia must cue in this plan, not only with words, but with actions. Yes, and the actions actually coming and getting into your LGA, getting into your county, contributing to the progress of your county. How are you going to contribute? The contribution will come when you get back into your LGA. There will be financial contribution, and of course, there will be intellectual contribution. That means you have something that is worth strategizing to make the people of Amazonia get into their various home fronts. Then you step in with that and you share it with your county. The county then takes it, share it with the LGA. The LGA, or rather, you stay with the LGA. The LGA takes it, shares it with your county. Your county takes it and shares it with the entire family. That is the interim government. And before you realize, we are building a model that will beat La Republique, the Cameroon, hands down. And so that's the kind of land we are looking forward to. I want to let you know that if the Israelites had gotten very discouraged, there would have been no Israel today. Did you know that? Because they were tormented above measure, even to the point that they fought against Moses. Why did you not leave us to die in Egypt? And that is exactly what a number of Amazonians are saying today. Why don't you just allow us, to manage with La Republique? No, we cannot manage with La Republique. We cannot. Managing with La Republique will be a suicide. Yeah, one very concerned Amazonia personally called me yesterday, or rather wrote to me yesterday, and was asking a very pertinent question. of which I sympathize sincerely with the people of Ambazonia, but at the same time, it is a battle that we must fight to the end. And as it should be known, the narrative outside there by La République du Cameroon and the enablers and all those who have changed their minds and want us to stay under the yoke of bondage that we are told that we have been set free from that bondage. Now they have consented to take us back into slavery. And whatever they are doing to facilitate our going back to slavery is up in futility. Because no country ever gets its freedom by compromising. As we have started fighting, we must fight to the end. Those who are accepting to sign papers with the Republic of Cameroon, and of course, they don't have no mandate from anybody, from the people of Ambazonia. You can imagine an individual, just because he has a name and some things attached to the name, minus common sense, he goes to sit down to say, okay, let's agree, and then they sign this document. All the documents that the Republic is signing with individual Ambazonians, if truly the Ambazonians, has no value at all. Yes, it has no value. Yeah, because those people are not representing the Ambazonian people. They are representing their stomach. They're not even representing their family members. They are representing their stomach. And we know this from every struggle that has happened in the world. Yes, even the struggle of the children of Israel leaving Egypt, it was not easy. And so ours, as it has not been easy, and it's not easy, it will not be easy until we get into our land and begin to manage our affairs by ourselves. So all those special status and all the other explaining away the individual independence as it was obtained after the Second World War, it's not going to work. So what is going to work is what the United Nations, after taking over from the League of Nations that divided the land into boundaries and putting boundary stones in 1929, which is still found in the archives of the United Nations, made it very clear that we can never be the same people. Now, let's not go very far. If you do not understand English or understand the working of the boundaries that were set up, I would like you to just go back and listen to Mr. Biya, who succinctly said that we have tried over the years to integrate them because they are small and we are the majority. We have tried to integrate them, but it has not been possible. And he named a few of the things that are making it impossible. Number one, our culture is different from their culture. Number two, our system of either education or judiciary or court, every other thing is different from what La République had inherited from, or rather, La République is running from France, because up till now, they are not free from the hands of France. And that's why they are doing everything to try to bring us under the bondage of France, which some people, unfortunately, have forgotten the deceit and the lies that La République has never done anything positive. They promised the ring road, we all know about it. Biya, the chief liar, stood up and said he was going to supervise it himself. Where is he today? Now they have brought some instruments, some of them are broken down. They have taken it to Victoria to blindfold the Ambazonians that they want to re-establish the deep sea port. No, we don't want them to do it for us. No, we don't want it. And then you find some people who call themselves chiefs. Now, those people, I will always tell you that I pity them very seriously. I really pity them. And I don't know what adjective to use to describe them, because I know that they are not only in the bondage of La République de Cameroon, they are also in the heavy hands of Satan. And Satan will blind your eyes not to see what you are preparing to benefit tomorrow. He wants to show you something that is temporal, that has no lasting effect. And so they want to go the shortcut, because some of them are actually members of deep secret societies that are controlled by the devil. They have refused to go with the directives of the developed world. They have refused to go with, above all, with God. Yeah, they have refused to go with God. And they have decided to go the way they're going. And that's why they can be deceived over and over and over and over and over again. Now, in our revolution, we have had people who have come out to fight the interim government, fight our president, Dr. Samuel, fight our Secretary of State for Communication, Dr. Mungwa. And when you want to find out from them, you discover that their fight was under the pretext that they want to replace and bring more firepower and bring in more money and take us to Boya quicker than ever before. But unfortunately, if you sit down and observe these people, there is no change. Instead, there is a retrogression, because they try to convince the ARFs at home front to stop fighting. And they pointed their weapons at the interim government and Dr. Sako particularly, which is unfortunate, to make sure that we quickly go to Boya through a shortcut, which is not actually going to Boya, but which is placing us over the Mongo. Because they say the Sawa people, they speak the same language and they have the same culture, which is fake. And some of the people who are strangers, visitors, whose parents migrated from Sierra Leone, got married to people from Bassa, La République, and they have mentality, and every now and then they are trying to take us back to La République, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I now see why Dr. Foncha could not sign any union treaty with La République du Cameroon. Like some people mistakenly say, I want to let you know that Dr. Foncha has no relationship with Chang. I told you before, and I want to repeat here, Dr. Foncha has no relationship with Chang. It's a narrative by the enemies of Amazonia to make us have enemies that don't exist. Dr. Foncha had the blood of Nkwen in him. Remember, I told you the fawn of Nkwen, the palace where Foncha came from, was the grandmother of Foncha, or rather, yeah, I should think so, the grandmother of Foncha, yes, who gave birth to the fawn of Nkwen's son, who is Foncha's father. And when the fawn got missing, as it is said in our tradition, fawn don't lost, the father of Foncha thought that he was going to be the next to be found as the fawn of Nkwen. And you know, in those days, people used to manifest their anger by disappearing or by asking their portion and going away, like we have the prodigal son. So the Foncha's father when he was not made the fun of Nkwen, he disappeared and went and stayed in Babaju for more than 10 years. So eventually he came back home when things were going the way they were going. He came back home, and the son, Foncha, now feeded himself into the politics of that day. And because people don't know this background, they started ascribing the 10 years of Foncha staying in Babaju as if he is a Babaju man. Well, I want to let you know that history makes us to know that Foncha was not from Babaju, neither was he from Chang. He just went a sojourning and just stayed there. Just like we had the children of Israel who left their land and were staying in Egypt. And they stayed in Egypt for 430 years. Now, somebody will immediately get up and tell us that, well, all the children of Israel that were born in Egypt are Egyptians. But I want to say no. They are the blood, and their DNA is from Israel. And so after 430 years, they had to go back. Just like after more than 10 years, Foncha had to come back, trace his roots, and came back, and of course still acquire a portion of the land that the Fons of Nkwen give to their children. And that's why he had the forest, the fish pond, and a whole street named after him, Foncha Street. Of course, because he is the son of the land. So anybody who told you that Foncha was from Chang is not telling the truth. I had believed that before, but I had to go back into the annals of history to properly dig out and come and tell the Ambazonian people that this man was a bona fide Ambazonian born in the city of Bamenda in the Nkwen tribe. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, so we see Foncha standing up for the people of Ambazonia. Just like today, there are some people who claim that they are from Bakweri and they have known nothing. They just are Bakweri because their parents immigrated, came by ship, the slave ship from Sierra Leone, came and settled in Victoria. But that was the chief seaport of the former British Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia at that time. And when they settled there, of course, they called them Creole. So when you hear this young man talk his English, the one who calls himself Prince, I don't know where he got the Prince, and an average person who is not an Ambazonian will deviate as the days go on. So I'm still finding out the background of Chris Anu to know exactly if Nchang blood did not cross and come over to Lebialem because they share a common boundary. Yeah, such people, you have some people who are very gullible. Some are led and controlled by jealousy and hatred. And that's what we have seen in the Ambazonian quest for the land. And when I started finding out, I discovered that this is not the first, and this is not the first time such things are happening in our revolution. They happened in other revolutions before, and of course, they will continue to happen until our land is totally free. Yes, our land is totally free. And we are able to get into our country and stay there as free people. Yes, Ambazonians are free people. And because we are free, nobody has the right to put us in bondage again. We cannot be in bondage. Becoming the number 55 nation of Africa, I want to join my mouth with our president, Dr. Samuel Sarko Ekome, and ask the United Nations to give us our seat in the UN. That is what we need, our seat in the United Nations. As for recognition, we have been recognized. And that's why we are number 55. Can you see it? 55, or call it in English, the 55th nation of Africa. What we need now is our seat in the United Nations. The story is very clear. I want to announce here that after tomorrow, we shall be coming in with Dr. Tata, who shall give us another breakdown of what you should know. There are a number of reasonable, patriotic Ambazonians that want to tell you about your history, because you don't know. And when you don't know your history, you'll be dangling in between here and there. Some Amazonians don't know what La Republic has taken from us. In fact, the first thing that you can never buy in any market and nobody can ever give you, apart from the creator of the heaven and the earth, is the liberty that you have in your homeland. And once that liberty in your homeland is taken away, nobody can give it to you. And that's why we have resolved to go back and take back our liberty as it was given to us by God Almighty. Because He knew when He created us and planted us in Ambazonia, everything shows and indicates that we are a different people. Because if we were not a different people, we would have no doubt remained with Nigeria. If we're not a different people, we would have no doubt integrated with La Republic of Cameroon. But you see, the uniqueness of the Ambazonian person is so clear that the international community is observing, and they have seen it, and they have discovered that the people who are breaking away from this nucleus of the Ambazonian family are people that have been poisoned, people that have been brainwashed, people that have been, initiated into occultic group by La Republic du Cameroon, and they are not seeing clearly. But the bona fide Ambazonians will not take no for an answer from anybody. They want their own hometown. And that is why today we are fighting with our God. Yes, we are fighting with God. You know, sometimes, I don't know how many days, but I should think that it was 40 days that Goliath came out and blasted the people of Israel for 40 days. Yes, for 40 days. And all the Israelites were quaking, and in fact, some were saying that let's just give up. But they did not know that God was preparing a deliverer called David. And when he came, the king lightly recognized him, but the family did not recognize him at all. Especially those of them who were not from the same mother with him. Just like I have some people who claim that they are from the same village with the president, Dr. Samuel. But then they are the caterpillars of the day. We want pillars, not caterpillars. And so Ambazonia is producing those pillars. Some of them are seen, some of them are known, some of them are carrying out the ministry of the unnoticed. And God is doing something behind the scenes. And that's why I will never come here and forget to thank the interim government for creating a department of spiritual affairs, which we call it the spiritual cabinet of the interim government. Those are the people that are the movers and the shakers. But nobody knows them, nobody sees them. And since we declare that this is a God-ordained fight, every mechanism to the best of the knowledge of Satan has been done to make sure that La Republique takes over Ambazonia, and it has fell on deaf ears and it has proven futile. This is not because of the wisdom that anybody in this fight has. No. It is as a result of the spiritual cabinet that the interim government put in place when he took over this government. And so, brother, we'll have a pause, a break, a musical break, and we'll come right back and I'll be rounding up. Okay, Reverend, your testimony is very powerful. Go ahead.
I have a story to tell the world. This is my story, please listen carefully. One day I met a lady. She told me that Jesus died for me. He shed his blood and he loves me. He's calling me, his light is shining. Will shine in my darkness. Will shine in my darkness. I answered the lady, I said, since I was born, I heard that same story. Have you seen him? Have you touched him? Have you met him? And where is he? After many words of argument all day, I saw my sin, I was ashamed. I surrender to the Savior. I surrender to the Redeemer.
Yes, Ambazonians, I think the best thing we should all do is to surrender to the Savior, is to surrender to the Redeemer, is to surrender to the leadership of God in our struggle. If we do not surrender to the leadership of God in our struggle, some of us will actually help to delay. But guess what? You can never stop us going to Boya. This is a dream that must physically materialize and come true. To some people who already have in touch with the Creator, have already seen Boya, and that's why sometimes you see people come out with write-ups, pictures, designing and showing how Boya is going to look like. That's not just fantasy. That is as a result of an in-depth touch with the Creator, that if you give him chance, he will do it. But you guess what? The devil can only delay, because he comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. Steal, kill, and destroy. And that's why we have seen our homes being destroyed by La Republique. That's why we have seen our people being killed by La Republique. That's why we have heard our people cry out that the genocidal scout boys called military from the La Republique du Cameroon came into one village destroyed the places, stole money, stole a number of things, and disappeared. That is showing you and telling you that they are working for the devil, because that is his mission. Yes, some of us don't want to believe. We think it is an illusion. It's not an illusion. As we have matter, as we have substance, so also do we have existence of the spirit. And I told you that Ambazonia has adopted and has accepted the Holy Spirit. But anybody who is not from Ambazonia, even though he may be calling the name Ambazonia, but has adopted and received the spirit, an evil spirit, that evil spirit will make that individual not to be able to even recognize himself. Just like Paul Biya could not recognize himself. Who are these people inside here? Are they important? Why am I here? Well, some people say he was pretending because he knows the heavy hand of judgment that will come upon him before God actually judges him. So he was afraid, as some people term it. But some of us and some people say that he is really, really dementia and that he cannot even reason for himself. And that is the person that La Republic is claiming that he is their leader. Somebody that does not know where he is and why am I here, and so on. Ambazonians, I'm talking to those of you who have been deceived either by word, and you have been planted hatred in your heart for that which is good. Just like Cain, when he saw the prosperity of Abel, the Bible says he conspired and killed his own brother. How many Ambazonians are planning to kill Ambazonians? 8 million people because of their stomach. 8 million people because of a position. 8 million people because they want to compromise and be known as the star in the devil's dynasty. So when you see people who are gullible and they are egoistic and want to have only for themselves, then you have seen a people that don't want the Ambazonian people to be free. But guess what? The freedom of Ambazonia is not in their hands. They have no mandate from anybody to stand and talk on behalf of Ambazonia. And for that reason, whatever document they sign or they don't sign, it does not bear any record, because these people have been classified as non grata. And of course, personnel non grata is always visible and known also by the international community, and they keep quiet because it's not them to blow the trumpet. So I want to tell Ambazonians that every falsehood that La Republic has brought up is not working and will not work. And so we encourage you to go back to your duties, respect the laws of the land in Ambazonia, especially the ghost town, and make your contribution. When we talk of contribution, we are not only talking financially. Yes, we are talking contribution in kind. You can report, you can contribute also financially. You can do one thing or the other to push the struggle forward. Because this is a generation that has determined that the history of Ambazonia will never be repeated as it happened in the 1960s. I overheard the barrister quote that, and of course, I did read the letter of resignation of Mr. Jongo Foncha, our Prime Minister, and he stated in his record that he did not know the use of the gendarmes, that the gendarmes came into into his territory and overtook the territory by night. That's to show you that La Republique does not have the word sorry in their agenda. When they are wrong, when they have killed, they try to cover up until when it is proven beyond doubt that they are the people. They will tell you, okay, we will take this person and question him and judge him and sentence him according to our lies. Lies. They never do it. They never do it. Isha Cheroma came out and said that woman in the north who was shot with her babies on her back, my God, that it was a Chadian soldier that did it. And when it was proven beyond doubt, I don't know where such big people with families and heads of department will keep their heads when their lies are brought to the limelight, that this is a lie. I don't know where they do, I don't know how they normally hide themselves. But anyway, I have known that people who are not of God and people who are of themselves don't have shame. Those who are working with the devil, they don't have shame because the devil has no shame. Well, Sister Annie says, I want to remind the people of Ambazonia that they should remember where we are coming from and where we are going. We are heading to Ambazonia and nobody can stop us. Sister Annie, go ahead and then sing to us with Sister Josephine. Yes, thank you very much. We, the Ambazonian people, are remembering the past, how Ambazonia was well organized, how Ambazonia did not have thieves. I mean, official thieves. How Ambazonia used to receive traffic cases in the court. But since La Republique overtook, tried to prove the conquered, the traffic cases are settled on the highway with 500 francs. What a corrupt nation. And some Ambazonians are saying that we should go and try them again. After 60 years, are you okay? Are you mentally okay to say we should go try these people again? Stay with them in a federation, and then after that we fight. Are you okay? That's the language of somebody that Number one, is not a father. Number two, does not have the people of Ambazonia in his heart. Number three, he is egoistic and wants to eat. If possible, to sell 8 million Ambazonians and pocket the 30 pieces of silver and not even spend them as Judas. It happens to Judas. That one doesn't matter. They don't learn sense. But we are here to tell you that we have said no. We are going back to restructure and recalibrate our towns and our cities and our country, Ambazonia, where elected officials shall be accountable to the people that elected them, where the Constitution shall be interpreted by those who have the power to interpret the Constitution, not by every Dick and Tom who will come in and cause confusion, where the law of the land shall be above the lawmakers. Oh yes, because if you fall a victim into one of the articles that you wrote or you supported when it was in writing, you're going to pay for it. That is what Ambazonia is going back to be. But for now, we ask Ambazonians to come in, let's fight. Those who can pray, begin to pray. The jubilation of La République du Cameroon over their almost exposure, which will be coming up soon as our brothers appear in the court in the US for them to be exposed. La République shall tell the truth for the first time. Their joy is already dwindling because they know that they have made the greatest mistake. Whoever brought these people to a land that is ruled by truth and a land that is ruled by the laws of the land and a land that goes together with the international boundaries and international laws. When La République shall discover that they shall not be able to establish that they own Ambazonia, that will just be the beginning of the peel and the eyes to be opened. When La République shall be told to pay damages to Ambazonia, and even to these people, whoever that indicted them, when the courts shall get up and ask for compensation, they shall cough it out, because it shall not be like the kangaroo decisions of La République du Cameroon, Nigeria, and some other stooges in Africa who know that they voted for the independence of the former British Southern Cameroons, and today they are sitting in silence, in a conspiracy of silence, to allow us to fight and kill ourselves. But I'm here to say that we will not kill ourselves. We will fight, but we will not kill ourselves. At the end of the day, we are getting into our land. If this land had righteousness and ruled by the truth, I do not see why La République will come in and be killing Ambazonians, because the difference is very clear. We are not the same country. We are separating as we try to come together. They first of all separated and went away, changed every institution. We didn't do it, but now that it's our turn, the whole world has kept silent because according to them, majority carries the vote. And whether their books are showing that we were together with La République, since La République is carrying the vote, they will allow you to carry the vote. But I want to tell the world that the God of all nations recognizes 2 or 3 people. And so we have been recognized as the 55th nation of Africa. Publicize it, shout it at the top of your voice, introduce yourself by that, and let the whole world know that their conspiracy of silence while Ambazonians are destroyed is not the will of God, and that they themselves, who are quiet, who know the truth, that they shall speak. And they shall also account for the death of the Ambazonian people. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is at this juncture. Remember, our phone is WhatsApp phone number. Is there on the screen. You can make a call, make a contribution, ask your question, and we shall be able to respond accordingly. Well, for now, let's listen to our brother as we run up. That testimony, brother. One day you came to Jesus, and what happened? Can you tell us?
I have a story to tell the world. I have a story to tell the world. This is my story, please listen carefully. One day I met a lady. She told me that Jesus died for me. He shed his blood and he loves me. He's calling me, his light is shining. Will shine in my darkness. Will shine in my darkness. I answered the lady, I said, since I was born, I heard that same story. Have you seen him? Have you touched him? Have you met him? And where is he? Hey! After many words of argument all day, I saw my sin, I was ashamed. I surrender to the Savior. I surrender to the Redeemer. What about you? He's calling you. What about you? Jesus is calling you. Everybody. Everybody sing. Everybody sing.
And it is at this juncture that we end our program for today. Please don't go away. In the next few minutes coming up, about an hour, you have Hour of Freedom knocking at your doors with Reverend Dr. Victor Amba. So get ready for that program. All right. God bless the people of Ambazonia. See you tomorrow on Amba History at the same time, 5 p.m. Amba time. God bless.
He reigns.